Chin Chin. Hello. Welcome back. It is roundup day. It's a couple of days late. We're on the 3rd of December now, and this is going to be my November kind of like overview. It is my reselling business. It's not anything to do with any other incomes that I bring in. It is eBay, Depop, and Vinted at the moment. Yeah, that's just a quick kind of top up. So I'm not gonna lie, it's not been what I expected it to be. But the structure of the video is I'm going to go straight into what is sold. I've only got about 3 slides of things. It's because it's not everything. It's just like some of my favourite bits, some of the bits that I've actually got a bit of story to it, and it's not, like I said, it's not everything. I have actually sold a PlayStation 4 this month for over £100 as well. I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, I've been making a couple of sales off of eBay and off of the platforms on Facebook Marketplace. So one thing that I never thought I'd do again, because it's the Wild West. But anyway, yeah, it seems to be going all right. I've got a lot to talk about this week. It's kind of surprised me, to be honest. Am I disappointed in myself? No, it's just I keep doing these videos. I do them every month. I've been doing them every month for ages. I think I've missed 1 month out of the lot. I think it's been like 2 years. And they are a sales report. They're a roundup. And I feel like every video that I do on them, it's very clickbaity, and I don't mean it to be. It's just because you'll find out later. But it's like, it's either, yay, it's amazing, yeah, I'm doing really well, and then the next month is, oh no, it's awful. It's like, you'll see what I mean by the graphs. Please enjoy. So, yeah, as I said, these are just like a few of the items that I particularly liked, and some with a story to it. It's not everything, obviously, just things with a story, things I liked, etc., etc. Yeah, and I just want to kind of like do a quick kind of breezy number over this because I want to talk about something. So this is an Anand. It's Annaud, I think. Anand. It's actually silk and cotton. It's really nice. And yeah, I bought it for £1. It was on sale, and it sold for £29.99 plus. Well, technically it's £33.49. The gloves up at the top, they were a local buy, and I got so much interest in them. The Solomons, and yeah, they were £3.99, and they've sold for £23.50. Is it 70 and Mucci? Is that what it is? It's the Anthropology brand. This was like a boiler suit, and I got it in the charity shop warehouse in Harrogate with Chica. I spent £5 on it. There was a rack of £5 items, and I just saw this. I was like, ooh, okay. If it was in a bigger size, it would have done a lot better, but it was only like an extra small. Anyway, that sold for £32.49, which I'm pretty proud of, because I got a few offers on that, and I resisted until I got a decent one. So yeah, these Mizuno shoes, I got in Newcastle with JP while I was at the meetup, and they were £6, and these sold for £32.50. I did have them up for I think I put them up for £39.99, and I got an offer of like £29. Oh no, wait! I got an offer of £32.50, and I got an offer of £32.50, but I didn't put on the postage here, which is usually about £4.50. So that should be a bit more. But yeah, they were a good sell. I also got these 2 things from Newcastle, or on the way. This one was from the Bernardos, and I was with Reseller Claire, or Hetty and the Flow, as you might know her. Go check her out. Yeah, and I spent £3.99. It's a new and sealed downfall, but it's from 1999, so it's technically vintage, but it's new and sealed. And that sold for £45 plus £4.50 postage. And now Little Dinosaur is from The Land Before Time, not the original. It's from like one of the many spin-offs that they did. Yeah, and I got a big bag of dinosaurs. I've just kind of worked it out as like £2 per one. I spent £8 on the bag though, and I've got I've got a Littlefoot from The Land Before Time. I'm keeping him, but the others, yeah, just split them up. I put that up. There was some that were going in America for like £40-50, and this is actually going to the States. But I took an offer of, I think it was like £32, something like that, which I'm kind of happy with because it was in a space of like a week. This Adidas one, this is a relatively new sale. It's a velour kind of zip jacket. It said from their archive collection, which is a new thing that they're doing. They're doing like retrospectives of like really popular styles from like the 70s, 80s, etc., etc. Anyway, yeah. So my average cost of goods from the kilo sale in Sheffield, I think it was like £3.80. That's what it usually is, but I think this one. Yeah, I think it was actually £3.80, but I've just rounded it up to £4 because I couldn't remember. Anyway, that sold for £59.49 altogether, which I'm pretty chuffed with. It sold for full asking as well, no offers necessary. I was like, it sold for full asking. There was no offers given. I was like, oh, right, okay. Okay, this is the last little slide that I wanted to talk about. As I said, this isn't everything. It's just some good stuff. The first batch of the paper lanterns, also from Newcastle. I got them from Whitley Bay. I got 8 for £1 each, and I've just put them in like lots of twos. And that sold for £2. No, I bought it for £2, and it sold for £29.50. These two little sets here in the middle, these are Bratz. They're in that box that I got. I spent £20, was it, on those Bratz dolls. One of them has already sold and paid for the lot. That's why I haven't got an actual buy price, and I've still got like 3 left for the dolls, and then like 3 little head things. But yeah, there's I'm in profit on these. These are pure profit. 37 and 38.50 plus. They went to the same buyer, but on different days. She came back. I think she was just testing me out whether it was like genuine. But yeah. I probably sold them a little bit too cheap. I think I could have put them up about 40 odd pound, but yeah, I just wanted a quick sale. This one on the far right, not that far right. It's a PS2 game. It's my own personal one. I don't need it anymore. I'm not really playing it. I'm getting rid of quite a few rare PlayStation games, but I'm kind of like drip feeding them, so I'm not like, my store isn't like PlayStation or video game related. It's just every now and then I'll put one on and it'll sell. So that's all for £48.50. It's a Marvel Capcom 2. It's actually quite so this was last month. This was October, and I did okay. It was my better month of the year. So far this year, I feel like I've been down about 20% on average, which isn't great. Oh, let me do my thing. Which isn't great. I've been down about 20% on average per month, but this is one of the months that actually outperformed a year ago, which you'll see in a bit. But so October was a decent month, and it was a decent month as well for not just like my ASP, but my net profit. My net profit was over £2,000. I still haven't gotten over. I think last year, I think it was in June or something, I had like 4,000 turnover and I had over 3,000 net profit or something like that. It worked out something like that. But yeah, what's really helped is Depop and Vinted. Now this is my Depop and Vinted. Am I over there? Let me move me over here. Okay, so as you can see, last month in October, this is October, Depop was a bit meh. Still better than the month previous, but not as good as the August, the May, or indeed the March, where it just went atmospheric, which I keep referring to. But it was the Vinted which really popped off last month. I was so impressed with Vinted, and altogether it came to £895. I was so determined to try and hit 900, but I just missed it. It looks like August, where they kind of drew level field. They were doing really well, both of these. So these are my secondary platforms. Obviously, I've always had, if you look in the past last year, I've always had a Vinted account, and it's kind of been ticking along. And then at the beginning of the year, I was like, no, we need to really kind of like kick off Vinted, and it really did start in February, and you can kind of see it kind of was going okay, and it did really start picking off, and then it kind of went down, then it went up, then it went down, then it went up, and now it's come back down again. I'm getting Vinted whiplash. I'm not doing anything different. I'm just literally, uploading, cross-listing, and I'm actually spotlighting. The past like 2 months, I spotlighted my wardrobe like every single week, and I kind of consider that Vinted fees, because we don't pay any fees. It's very easy to be like, no, we don't, but it's only a tenner a week, and I'm thinking, hang on, if I spend £40 on a month on Vinted, that's I can class that as fees. Whereas eBay, it's like £27.99 for the small shop, and it's like £77 for the medium shop. So it's like you know what I mean? It's like it's easy just to say, it's just fees. So. Depop did a little bit better than the month before. I was really rooting for Depop to really kind of like pop off. And in November, the first week in November, how I knew it was going to be a bit of a month, I sold nothing. I think it was on the 8th or 9th day it started picking up. And yeah, it's not without trying. I did 20% off all month. Yeah. I think I sold like, I think it was like 20 odd items, I think. Yeah, but anyway, let's move on to Vinted. Vinted actually took a dip from last month, as I said. It was my best month last month on Vinted. This is actually technically my second best month ever on Vinted, so it's not too bad. But yeah, that low Depop, I really wanted it to pop off. But yeah, my total was only 687, which, again, it's not the worst month of the year so far. That would be February. But yeah, I've changed the colour to purple, so it makes it a bit easier, like combined, these are the totals. Yeah, my top is 924 combined in August, so just short of £1,000. Oh, I really want to hit £1,000. I really wanted to hit 1,000. I think it will come. It will come. If I just keep on listening, it will happen. I know that. But look where it was, say, like this time last year, November 400. So I've made 200 more than the previous month. October last year was my best year, 542, and that's last month it beat it as well. So by like 400 odd pounds. So I've almost doubled the amount that I'm bossing in this month. Yeah, it's an extra. It's like another 400. It's like a third, isn't it, or 20 odd percent. So I'm actually doing better on my secondary platforms. Now that might be the case, but what about eBay? That's why you're all here. Yeah, so these are my dailies, my week to weeks. They're green. Like I said, the first week was awful. I even got a no sale day, like a proper donut day, which is kind of painful. But then it kind of came back stronger in the first week, in the tail end of the first week. £200 day. It was only one of 3 this month. Yeah, and my average for the first week, 73. Average for the second week went up, 91. It was okay, but it still had like a bit of a whiplash kind of feeling. Like the first day was really good, and then it kind of went down, and it went up, and then it went down. Then it went really high, 215. It was the best day of the month. Yeah, so week 3 did it a lot better, 136. That's my average for last year per day, was £136, I think. So it's like, that's kind of what I'm used to having, like on average. And yeah, there's two or 3 days where it was a bit meh, but then I've got like over 150, 221. Oh, actually, yeah, that's my best day. Week 3, sorry. Yeah, it's kind of depressing. And then it went back down to 98. I always kind of like feel like if I've made on average £100 a day, then it's all right. I'm good. I can pay my bills, and I've got some plate money. When it comes to average of £73, per day. Oh God, that's painful. That's like what I was when I first started, like a few years ago. It's like, oh, that's the bare minimum I need to make, like the bare minimum. But 98 is the minimum I personally feel comfortable with, because then I can pay my bills, and I've got like a little bit to reinvest or play money. Now that big one there, £175 for the for the 5th week. Well, the 5th week only had 2 days, and I had £198 and £153. So I feel like it's a false kind of reading. This is what we showed before. Hang on, wait, let me just put that back here. There we go. Yeah, so this is last month's turnover, 3,200. Fees and cost of goods. Post is actually included in the fees, by the way, since eBay brought everything kind of like in-house. Your fees kind of like, yeah. So, yeah, 1,175. Average sale price, that was the really interesting thing, £27. Because if you look at the month before, on September, I sold less items, but my ASP was up. I sold more valuable items in September. But look at that net profit. Because of the fee situation, it blasted my and since they put up 0 fees, it's actually gone up. So my net profit has actually gone up, so it's good. So this month, I sold 141 items, which is like 20 more than before. I'm making roughly just a few £100 under October, so 3,100, fees 1,300. ASP is actually down, but because I've sold more, that's kind of like on average. I feel like 23 to 24 has been my average this year. And my net profit is 1,800, and then obviously with the Vinted and Depop, that bumps it up a bit. And then I've got, remember, this is just reselling. This is just my reselling arm. I do have other things going on as well. I might get into them one day. I keep teasing that. This is combined Depop and Vinted. And you can see it's basically like whiplash. Look at this. One, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. It's like jagged teeth. I don't want to see jagged teeth. I want to see, over time, I want to see it going up like that. Right now, it's like, I'm like, oh, God, that's my heart for the month. If I like extrapolated my heart, my anxiety, when it comes to resale, it's like that. Look, November, 1,800 and if I look at last year, it's 2,500. It's 690 quid difference. But then if you look at the Depop, it's say like 446. If I look at that, 600 is 200. So if you think I'm about 300 to 400 pound down, so over both of them. But yeah, it's just not great. It's not. So you can kind of get your hint of how good and how bad it's been. It's weird. It's like the third best month of the year. Like but I expected it to be the number one best month because it's Christmas. I thought, wow, it's going to do really well. But in comparison to last year, it's done okay. On my third platform, it's been okay. On eBay, it's not been as bad as good. Yeah, and I hope that December's going to pull it out of the bag. But this whole year, I'm going to do an end of year roundup, obviously, at the end of December. But looking at what's happened, it's like it's not been a good year for me on eBay. It's been a real struggle. And it's because my time is divided with lots of different things. Obviously, I've got a little bit of YouTube to do, but there's other streams of income that have kind of taken my focus away, and it's not good. When I wanted to be, last year I had a really good year last year in comparison to the year before that, and I feel like instead of being 10% up, like I've got on my thing, increased 10% profits for 2024, I'm like 10% down. It's not good. It's not good. I'm like, that's a 20% deficit of where I should be. Oh, so I'm hoping, you know, I hate to be clickbaity, but things have got to change because as much as I love it and as much as it is my 9-5, it is bringing in the bulk of my money. I want to decrease that, or I want to increase the other areas of my life, areas of my income, to push that up. And I want to do more on eBay, obviously, but and next year is going to be a very tough year financially for us, for one thing or another. Anyway, I'll get into that another day. But yeah, I feel like these roundup videos are very kind of clickbaity. They're very kind of like, oh, something's got to change. Oh, I'm doing so terrible. And then the next month, it's like, oh, it's amazing. I'm the eBay king. And it's just like the whiplash is painful. Oh, I don't just love coffee. Anywho, I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, thanks for watching. How's your month been? More importantly, how's your month been? Has it been as weird and wonderful as mine? Like I said, I've done good, but I wanted to do really good. It's like, it's not bad at all by any measure. I'm making money. That's the main thing. I'm paying my bills. I've got then some to travel. I've got then some to save up. And I've got, yeah. Oh, it's just very all over the place. I can't handle basic math in the morning. Anywho, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.